So the first book is called Thank You Octopus. And I made this book, I just used a pencil like you guys draw with a pencil and paper, and then I colored everything in the computer. And this book takes place in New York City, because when I first started working on this book, I was living in New York City. But then when I started making the actual art for it, I had moved to Korea, and I really missed New York City, so I got to draw the pictures from New York, and it kind of made me remember one of my favorite cities in the world. So this book takes place in New York City, and takes place on the Hudson River in New York City. And you can see on this little teeny tiny tugboat, that's where the boy and the octopus from the front cover, that's their home. They live on this tugboat. So they're just sitting out on the back of this tugboat one night, and they're playing a game called Go Fish. Raise your hand if you guys have ever played Go Fish. Do you guys like that game? So they're like just hanging out back here, and they're playing Go Fish. And there's a little alarm over here that's going off. It's the bedtime alarm. So you can see high tide, low tide, ebb tide, and bedtime. So this bedtime alarm is going off, and the octopus, he loves to go to bed kind of early and right on time. So he says, "Bedtime, ahoy!" But you can see the little boy is not very happy, and he says, "Oh, pickles!" because he wants to stay up really late. So you guys can try that if you want to stay up late sometime. You can just tell your parents, "Oh, pickles!" and see if it works. So, and one other thing I wanted to point out here, they're drinking something really special from Korea called banana milk. I don't know if they have, Tanya, do they have that in Japan? In Korea, the kids really love to drink banana milk, so I just drew that in here. It's like a popular thing that we saw in So, oh, pickles! The boy is kind of unhappy that it's bedtime. So the octopus wants to make his friend feel happy, and he picks him up and he carries him toward the bathroom, and he says, "Oh, but I made you a nice, warm bath." And the boy says, "Thank you, octopus." And the octopus says, "Of egg salad." So I made you a nice warm bath of egg salad. And he filled the bathtub with eggs and mustard and mayonnaise and pickles and crackers. And raise your hand if you think that would be an awesome thing to take a bath in. Might be a little smelly, could be a little stinky. And so the boy says, "Oh, gross! No, thank you, octopus!"
I hate egg salad and mustard too.
Oh man, you would really hate that bath. That would be the worst bath of all time. You would feel like the boy. You would say, "Oh, gross! Get me out of here!" And then they're sitting in the bathtub. You can see the octopus is even eating the bath water. He's like stuffing his face with this egg salad. But he sees that his friend is a little bit upset. And so he says, "Sorry, I'll dry you off." And the boy says, "Thank you, octopus." And the octopus says, "I'll dry you off with my tuba." Brrr. And he blows all the egg salad off the boy. And the boy says, "Whoa, no thank you, octopus." And we can see there's a little starfish peeping in the window here, and he's saying, "Oh my goodness, what's happening in this bathroom? These guys are crazy." And then the octopus goes and grabs their pajamas, and they're kind of drying off with their towels. And the octopus says, "Here, I'll help you put your PJs on." And the boy says, "Thank you, octopus." And the octopus says, "I'll help you put your PJs on the Statue of Liberty, that is." And he climbs up to the top of the Statue of Liberty, and he puts the boy's underpants and t-shirt on the top of the Statue of Liberty. And you can see the boy is way down here standing on the boat, and he says, "Hey, no thank you, octopus! That is so super embarrassing. Get my underpants off the Statue of Liberty right now." And then the octopus climbs back on board the boat, and they're putting their pajamas on. And the octopus says, "Now I'll brush your teeth." And the boy says, "Thank you, octopus." And the octopus says, "With paintbrushes." Yeah! And he's kind of painting the boy's teeth pink and yellow and blue, and he's painting his own teeth blue and pink and purple and yellow. And the boy says, "Oh, yuck! No, thank you, octopus!" It's probably the worst thing you can brush your teeth with. And then they go inside, of the boat into their bedroom, and they're sitting on their rug. And the octopus says, "Or how about I read your favorite book?" And the boy says, "Thank you, octopus." And the octopus says, in robot language, bleep, blop, blarp, bloop, blop, bleep, blop, bleep, blop, bloop, blop, bleep, 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 blop, bloop. And the boy says, "Ay, ay, ay. This octopus is too much." And then the octopus says, "Better yet, you look super tired. Let me rock you to sleep." And the boy says, "Thank you, octopus." "Rock and roll you to sleep. Good night, New York City." And the boy says, "Wow." It's kind of loud. And then the octopus walks over to their bed and he says, and they kind of look under the bed and he says, "I even made sure there are no monsters under your bed." And the boy's a little worried and he says, "Thank you, octopus." And the octopus says, "Yeah, that's right. I put them all in your closet." And the boy says, "Wah!" And you can see all the cool monsters just hanging out in the closet. And this is kind of like the last straw. And now the octopus gets really angry. I mean, the boy gets really angry. This is sort of like he's had it. And he says, "No, thank you, octopus!" He looks really mad, right? And so how do you guys think this might, let's think to ourselves how the octopus might feel after he made his best friend so angry, after he made his best friend yell like that. So you can see the octopus feels pretty bad about what he did. He didn't mean to make his friend so unhappy. So he's kind of standing there and he looks down and he says, "I'm sorry." You can see the boy is just standing there. And then the boy says, "Oh, octopus, let me give you a hug." And the octopus is so surprised and he says, "Oh, thank you, buddy." And then when you turn the page, a giant grizzly bear has come in and squeezed the octopus, and the boy says, "A bear hug!" And then the grizzly bear is holding the octopus and giving him a hug, and he's totally surprised and he says, "Wow, no thank you, buddy." So the boy kind of gets him back a little bit at the very end, and then they climb into their bed. So they have a bunk bed, and the octopus climbs into the top and he says, "Good night, buddy." And the boy says, "Good night, octopus." And the octopus says, "Hey, don't forget to say goodnight to the bear." "Oh, thank you, octopus." "And your dirty socks, octopus. And the monsters in your closet, octopus." So I kind of think these guys never go to bed and they just stay up all night being silly. What do you guys think? You think they stay up all night? And so at the very, very end, the boats are all sailing out to sea. And so like throughout the book, we've started sort of in the middle of Manhattan, the top of Manhattan, and by the end, we've sailed all the way out to sea. What do you guys think? Would you guys you think it would be cool to have an octopus as a best friend? Would that be, or maybe questionable?